Hey, welcome back to Vinyl Decal School. I've been uploading videos for a while now and I realised I've never actually shared why people should listen to me and trust me when I tell you things about how to run a vinyl business and how to make vinyls and stuff like that. So I thought it was about time that I shared a bit of my backstory and also proved that you can actually make money selling vinyl decals. And then I thought I'd give you a bit of an income report from my Etsy shop so you can see just how much you can potentially make from running a vinyl business. Before I start though, please don't forget to like and follow and subscribe my channel and videos so I can continue to make content like this. So it all started about 4 years ago, this little seed that grew into a business. I was employed at the time in a full-time job and it was actually quite a good job. I was working from home. I'd been there about 5 years and was doing pretty well, but I just kind of wasn't satisfied with what I was doing. And it also didn't help. My husband was self-employed and he still is. And he was also working from home, but he during the day would go off to the gym, go for a walk. He got to have like a lot more holidays than I did and time off. And then here I was sitting Monday to Friday, 9 till 6, kind of waving him goodbye and feeling a bit resentful really that he got to kind of, felt as if he got to just go and do what he wanted while I was stuck at my desk. So I made the decision that I couldn't do that anymore and I wanted to go freelance myself. I just didn't really have a clue what I was going to do. So I saved up a bit of money to kind of tide me over, handed in my notice, and just decided I was going to be my own boss, do something more creative and kind of see where it led me. I was absolutely terrified that I wasn't going to be able to make it work though, and that I would have to go back to just doing a Monday to Friday 9 till 6 again, and I'd be just kind of having to start at the beginning in a whole new company again. So I knew I had to make something work. I did try a few different things. I did like a web design course, but that wasn't really for me. I couldn't get into it. I did some like really random freelance stuff. I was signed up to a company to do handwritten thank you notes for different companies to send them out to their customers, but that barely paid anything. So I knew that couldn't be like a long-term thing. I did a little bit of article writing for someone, but I'm not really a natural writer, so I knew that wasn't really the road I wanted to go down either. So I basically became like an odd job woman doing anything I could find, but it wasn't really sustainable. So I knew I had to find like one thing I could get really good at and try and make some kind of living out of. And then I found the world of hand lettering and calligraphy and got a little bit obsessed. I spent like hours writing pretty quotes and learning about typography and composition. I was like, oh my god, this is it. I found my thing. So using these new skills, I tried selling custom envelopes with nicely written addresses and stuff on the front. No one was really interested. I scanned in my hand lettered designs and added them to print on demand products to try selling them that way. They didn't really take off either. Then I started making hand lettered signs for weddings and special occasions. And actually I did sell quite a few of those and got a big contract, but they were such hard work that I ended up losing money off them in the end because they took such a long time to get them how I wanted to get them. But I think it was probably mostly a confidence issue. I was never really happy with what I made, so it was difficult to really push it out and sell it. And also a lot of ideas got scrapped because I just wasn't fully happy with them. Thankfully, it was at this point I learned about Cricut machines and decided to get one so that I could make stencils for my signs. But once I bought it, it was all or nothing. I had made very little money since I quit my job. I'd just invested in this new machine and we had a wedding in Canada to pay for that same year. Yes, I quit my job the same year we had a wedding to pay for. I don't recommend it, don't do it, but we paid for it and it was great. So all was well in the end, but yeah, probably not the best decision I've ever made. But so basically, if this Cricut hadn't have made me money, I was thinking maybe that I was going to have to go back to working 9 till 6 Monday to Friday, and I really didn't want to have to do it. So it was around the same time that I had opened my Etsy shop to try and sell my various hand lettered bits and pieces. And I noticed that quite a few people were selling decals on Etsy just on their own, like not attached to any finished product. And literally at the time, my first thought was, how can they possibly be making any money off just selling decals? They were selling them like so much cheaper than I was selling these finished hand lettered signs. But then I kind of thought about it a bit more, and I looked at my lack of storage space. Like, I didn't have that much room to store these massive signs that I was trying to make. I was having to get like an excess of packaging in to wrap them all up and send them out, and I had no room to store that either. And I was having to charge like massive amounts of postage, and I could only send them within the UK realistically. Whereas I compared that to the people who were selling decals, their postage fees were so small, they were selling them worldwide, and I was thinking all they really need is vinyl, transfer tape and packaging, and it doesn't need to take up like a ton of space. And I thought about the markup on vinyl as well, how much you can sell it for compared to how much you can buy huge rolls of it for. And it became a no-brainer. So I was like, I'm going to try this and try and sell decals myself. So I was kind of like, I may as well give it a try. So I made up a champagne flute with a decal on, some hangers, and I think I did some like a really badly edited wedding signs with to try and sell those decals as well. And just put them up on my Etsy shop, not really expecting much, because I thought, oh, there's loads of people already selling them, why would anyone buy mine? And it was quite quiet at first, but I'm not really surprised. The branding of my shop wasn't great. I probably had terrible keywords, and a lot of the photos were quite bad. But I did actually start selling stuff. The champagne flute decals just kind of took off and became really popular. So it kind of made me think, right, there is something here. And I just became determined to make it work. So I binged like business podcasts, watched loads of YouTube videos, read countless books about different aspects of business and selling on Etsy. And then I shut my shop, completely rebranded everything, took loads of new photos, made sure my keywords were all like way better. And then once I'd implemented all of those things, relaunched my shop, and it's been pretty much non-stop ever since. So yeah, I think that was back in May 2018. So it's been about 2.5 years, and I have made pretty much consistent sales ever since. So it's not always really busy. Sometimes it is a little on the quieter side, but it still has always been pretty consistent without having to do a ton of marketing or social media stuff. And it means that I never had to go back to working 9 till 6 Monday to Friday, which is the thing I'm most pleased about. And it also means if my husband goes to the gym or for a walk or wants to take a holiday, then I can join him now. I don't always join him when he goes to the gym, but usually the other stuff I do. And so probably what you're all most interested in, I'll show you the figures from the last few years now. So this is how much I've made in sales since January 2018. Bearing in mind, I didn't really start making consistent sales until about May 2018 when I rebranded and relaunched my shop though. So it's actually more like 2.5 years worth of income. I also took quite a bit of time off in 2019, and this year has been a bit of a harder one as it's mostly wedding items that I tend to sell. So I've had to kind of change that up a bit, try and sell some other different bits and pieces. But yeah, it hasn't been too much lower, thankfully, than last year. Also, it's worth bearing in mind, this is just on Etsy with barely any marketing or social media efforts at all. Almost all of my traffic comes from Etsy search. So if you sold in other places and did put a lot more work into marketing, then this would definitely be on the lower end of the scale for you. But this has been amazing for me, as it's meant I've had a much better work-life balance, but still made more than enough to pay for what I need. If you want to know my profit as well as sales though, as I know a lot of people who do these videos just show their total sales and don't actually tell you how much they've spent on their items, then this is last year's stats. I haven't done this year's yet, as 2020 still isn't over with, obviously, so I don't know my total expenditure yet. But in 2019, out of the £29,000 I made, so that's about $37,500 roughly. Almost £3,000 went on Etsy fees, 1,700 for vinyl and transfer tape, and about £3,500 on shipping and packaging altogether. And then there's that, I put an arrow to that little £15 on Google Ads. I didn't actually choose to turn those on, Etsy just turned them on for me, but thankfully I didn't spend that much on them last year anyway. But so after all of that comes off, that left £21,156, which is approximately $27,500. Again, that's potentially on the low side for some people, but I've done the month by month breakdown for 2019 here. As I said, I did take quite a bit of time off. So yeah, if you look at February 2019, I actually took a month off to travel around Asia that month, and then it kind of cut into March as well, so that's why the March number's quite low. I also took a holiday in May as well, that's why the May number's slightly lower than the rest. And then in October, November, we were moving house, so I took quite a bit of time off there, shut my shop, and that's why those numbers are quite a bit lower. And then the December one is probably, I took time off at Christmas as well, which always kind of makes it a bit lower. And because I'm not a Christmas shop, well, I'm selling more Christmas stuff this year, but last year it was mostly about wedding stuff. As you can see, my busiest time is June, July, August, which is when most weddings are happening. So that is the only downside, that you don't get paid when you're on holiday like full-time work, but there's no way I could have taken 2.5 months off working when I was full-time either. I never would have been able to go travelling for a month when I had my last job. So I know which one I would rather go with. But it's not just about the money and the freedom. I've got so much more confidence in myself and my ability as a small business owner, and I've found so much contentment in helping people and getting lots of lovely reviews like these ones. And that's why I've decided to do a series of short courses on Skillshare, teaching people how to get a vinyl business up and running. The first one, all about how to start a business, is live now. I'll add a link in the description with a few more details of how to sign up for that. Or if you would like to be kept up to date for any future course announcements for when I get into the real nitty-gritty of running a vinyl business, then do sign up to my email list and I will keep you updated on those as well. And also please let me know if you think there is anything good that I should be including in these courses or anything I should be focusing on. There are so many places and ideas and niches for selling decals. I really want to help as many people as possible to get more freedom and make money from making and selling vinyl decals. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and follow my channel for more videos like this.